So welcome to this video. Today I'm going to do a question and answer session, my first. The questions come from my Facebook group that I'm kind of supporting, Herbal Medicine Ireland, and some YouTubers, subscribers that have made comments, and I asked them what questions you have. And the first question comes from Mr. Recon, and a similar question from Mr. DeVito, Dublin, a YouTuber down in Nina, I think. And they both asked me where did my interest in herbs came from. Where did my interest in herbs come from? So my interest in herbs came from probably working in addiction services and seeing the failure of medicine, methadone and antidepressants and sleeping tablets with that client base, and just being very kind of committed to a recovery model where people can become healthier and happier without medication. And so I explored herbs. I'd also explored some of these themes in my PhD thesis, and the limitations of the medical model. So that got me going, and eventually when I had a chance I went off and studied herbal medicine. Also from personal experience in my family, my father, my uncles, my grandmother and my friend Joe Lucy all died from some sort of heart-related disease. And again, seeing the failure of medicine and what could medicine do, and how medicine wasn't always able to treat illnesses in a way that that give people a longer life, a more quality of life. So the rebel that's in me decided to go after study herbal medicine. So one of the best decisions I ever made. I learned so much about health and about my own health and how to protect my health. I want to share all that with you. That's the main purpose of this channel. Empowering medicine is my motto. Empowering people to become their own health champions, become your own doctor, become your own herbalist, and herbs are all around us. Second question comes from Rebecca Sanders. Hey Rebecca. She wants me to do a tour of my apartment, my house. What plants do I grow, and what tips do I have for others who want to start a garden of their own? Well, Rebecca, unfortunately, I live in an apartment. I'll give you a quick scan of the video later, and I don't have any herbs growing here, or too many plants. I have a few little plants, but I've tried to grow herbs here. We're on the 6th floor. If I put anything out in the balcony, it's like a hurricane, and they get blown away. If I put them inside my little office where I have nice sunlight, they die. I just had very bad luck with herbs growing at home. I'd love to have lots of plants here and have a kind of a wild little garden here in the apartment, a bit of life. But unfortunately, it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it will happen, and I have a lot to learn. I come from a farming background, so you'd think I'd know something about growing plants, but as of yet, I'm struggling. So the way I interpret now is that outside of here, I'll show you in a little bit, is the Fatima Lewis stop, and there's a kind of a whole green area. And beside where I work, you see my video on 14 Irish herbs in the Tolka Valley. I see that as my garden. And herbs grow naturally in the wild, along the roads, in corners, in abandoned places. Herbs find a home to express themselves. They don't like to be controlled in a cultivated environment too much. So that's my approach to herbal medicine. I can't grow them at home, so I have them. That's my garden. That's my garden. And Ireland is my garden. So get out into your garden, get beyond your lawn. We shouldn't be growing these lawns and watering them, and we should be letting them grow wild, growing your dandelion, your nettle, your cleavers, your John's wort, whatever flowers you can grow. So thanks, Rebecca. Next question comes from Janine Baps. Janine Baps, I hope I pronounced that right, Janine. If there was one herb or supplement that I recommend for overall health benefit, what would that be? Well, I would recommend cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is the one thing I recommend for strengthening your heart. Maybe it's an Irish thing that we suffer a lot from heart disease, but if there's one thing I'd recommend, is cayenne for heart health, strengthen your circulation system, to the peripheries of your feet, to your arms. The other thing I'd recommend is apple cider vinegar. Cayenne pepper, apple cider vinegar, and the third one, bitters. Bitter herbs, bitter foods, that's what we need. We have too much sweetness in our diet. We need bitter herbs to alkalize our bodies. So thanks for that, Janine. Daniel Tinsvist, I hope I got that name right, Daniel. How long have you been interested in herbal medicine? Well, as I said earlier, I suppose I started studying herbal medicine in 2009. So that's about 7 years. But I grew up on a farm, and I was always interested in plants and life. But really, herbal medicine really only lasts 6 or 7 years. Also asks how have they affected my life, and what got me into herbal medicine, as I've answered earlier. But how they affect my life is I take herbs most days. I like bitters, liver herbs, heart herbs. Hawthorn is a great herb. I love hawthorn, it's one of my favourite herbs. Nervines, John's wort, lemon balm, peppermint, brilliant. Some of my favourite herbs. To answer your question, Christopher Merritt, I think that's the right pronunciation, Christopher. He's looking for a soap that would help with psoriasis. Now, it's not something I've had psoriasis myself in the past. I see it very much as a stress-related condition and a dietary condition. So there's a lot you can do with reducing your stress and improving your diet, moving towards a plant-based diet. But I'm going to make a video for you. I'm going to research a psoriasis soap, because I see it's something a lot of people are interested in. It's a difficult thing, as you know, to find. So I'm going to make you a psoriasis soap in a video soon. Okay? Thanks, Christopher. Museum Education, a YouTube channel, asks, this was a question about oral health and cavities, natural things with cavities, and she's asking, is it better to do one thing? In this case, like you can do oil pulling, use a mistaka stick, I've never heard of that, changing our diet, putting tea tree oil on floss, etc. So there's lots of things you can do to improve your oral health. Alkalize, again, I find apple cider vinegar very good for cavities and for gum issues. But I think it's really, if you take a holistic approach, you need to be doing always more than one thing. One thing to do is to look after your gut health, your digestion. So probiotics and plant-based food for your gut improves your oral health. Oil pulling is fantastic for improving your oral health, good for your teeth, cleansing your teeth. The Spanish chew licorice stick, so that's also good. So I always recommend, it's better to do more than one thing. We're in a quick fix culture. Modern medicine is all about a quick fix. A tablet for this, a tablet for that. No, holistic health, natural health is all about restoring balance through diet, natural remedies, herbs, dealing with emotions and all of that. So you got to be dealing with all of the issues that cause the problem, tackling these things on different fronts. So I recommend do as many things as you can afford to do and is sustainable. And I recommend change one habit first and then introduce another habit. Don't try and do too much too quickly. Introduce one new habit this week, keep it going for about 2 or 3 weeks, then add another one, and then add another one, and that way incremental change, and eventually you'll have all these natural health habits that not only will restore your cavities, restore your gum health, but will restore your gut health, your whole health, and sustain you into the future in a happy, healthy way. So thanks for that question, Museum Education. Sylvia Maxwell Flanagan, why is comfrey banned, Sylvia? Well, it's not banned in Ireland, but it comes with a warning because there has been research done on rats, feeding them lots and lots and lots and lots of comfrey. Of course, it causes problems to their liver, the little rat livers, rat livers, tiny little livers from the rats get damaged by all that comfrey, and then that has contaminated the human sort of perception then of comfrey being dangerous for the liver. But we would have to consume huge amounts of comfrey to do that damage. So comfrey, not recommended internally. I'm not recommending it internally here. Used very beneficially externally, but again, that's based on that research. So thanks, Sylvia, for that. Live, love, and learn naturally is asking about. My daughter suffers from migraines. Anything that I can recommend to help? Well, I always recommend, what's the root cause? I mean, there isn't a solution for everybody in one thing. We're all individual, and our individual histories are unique, and you've got to trace the history, the root of your condition to you, your story, your life, and what's causing it. So that's why it's hard to give advice just over the internet on YouTube, which I'm not really doing, just answering questions. And so diet, dairy, cheese have been associated with migraines. Chocolate also associated with migraines. So there's one thing you can do is look at eliminating those from your diet and then seeing if there's a change and improvement. Migraines can also be emotional, psychological, related to stress. Look at what's going on in your life and your past, and if there's issues you're carrying that you need to let go. Listen to the body. The body is screaming out in this pain, so listen to the body. What's the body saying, and what does the body need to let go? Yes, there are feverfews are great, Nervine, good for reducing pain. Maybe look at the liver as well. So again, maybe consult with a herbalist. Thanks for that question. And then Dalia El Dumhordi. Dalia, we'll call you by your first name, Dalia. This is a question about recommendations for breastfeeding women, postpartum, stretch marks, cellulitis, healthy hair and skin. It's critical time after you give birth. You need to revitalize the body. So what's the best recipes and local recipes for sore nipples? Not a thing that most men have to suffer from, but it is something that is quite stressful for women in that situation. So for the cellulitis, recommend dry skin brushing. Really good for anyone, particularly women with cellulitis. Dry skin brushing is really good. What else? Horsetail tea then is great for strengthening hair, bones, nail, and all that kind of areas when we're drained. That's what happens when you give birth. Foods like avocado are really sort of that NutriBullet recipe I have in a recent video. I have a horsetail video as well earlier on. Check those out. But really what you need to do is revitalize yourself with a month or two of good healthy smoothies with your kale, your spinach, your avocados, your nuts, your seeds, almond milk, etc. It's really important to revitalize yourself in that context. Exercise and de-stress. Women, it's hard work, having that baby inside of you, giving birth, taking care of it and taking care of everybody around you. So you got to be taken care of. Who's taking care of you? Get someone to reduce the stress and allow you time to nurture yourself and be nurtured. Really, it's a very important time to take care of yourself. So I hope that helps. Charlotte Ryan, great YouTuber, Irish YouTuber. I'll link her video down in the description. Charlotte, some advice around foods for acne. Just as you know yourself, I think Charlotte, you've identified dairy as a trigger. My own partner has suffered from this in the past. Went through lots of changes in her diet, eventually eliminated dairy. A lot of other things as well, kind of foods that could be quite cause a reaction. But dairy is fundamental, and you have to be radical. You can't just eliminate it for a while and touch back into it. You have to just eliminate it and go the radical approach. And I made a video on almond milk, and it's working out. I was up in a health shop in Rialto today. Well, it's a butcher's with health foods. I was looking at buying some almond butter. I see almond milk there for €3.50, and I think I'm making probably the same litre of almond milk for €1.80 from almonds I buy in Lidl. So learn how to make almond milk. You don't need cow's milk or dairy. You can make nut milks and nut spreads are great. So if you're suffering from acne, get rid of your dairy, replace it with alternatives, and see where you go from there. I think stress also, and deep cleansing, do a bowel colon cleanse using herbs. Get some support on that and consult with your herbalist. Hope that helps, Charlotte. Thanks for your question. Lark's Gardens, about infusions before she goes to bed. She likes dandelion root and fennel. Next morning, using the leftovers. Yeah, it's definitely eat those leftovers. They're really digestive and they're broken down. In terms of, is there rules about herbs can and cannot be combined to make teas? I'm a kind of a radical, I like to explore and experiment, and I will put roots into teas. But really what you're doing there is you're making a decoction. That's someone stuck in the lift or kids playing. So never mind, it's not birds are broken in. I'm a radical. I was saying I would put roots. Normally it's not recommended. Normally infusions are from the leaf or the flower. So what I look at roots. Obviously licorice is a root and it's broken up and it's included in infusions. What are roots? Well, seeds like fennel is not a leaf or a root either. But with the roots and the seeds, you need longer time to infuse them. And I think for more medicinal infusions, you need to be getting some of the barks, the roots, and the seeds. So I hope that helps. No, I don't think there's any hard and fast rule. I think powders, I don't like too many powders mixing my infusions. They kind of make them very just don't really break down. You want an infusion to be, nice, liquidy, warming, and with flavour and medicinal benefit. And again, the stronger you make them, the healthier they are. Well, that's me. I like all my teas strong. So I hope that helps. Lark's Gardens YouTube channel as well. Check it out. Celestine's Raw Food, another YouTube channel. And our question is effective remedy for varicose veins. Well, the best one is recommended is horse chestnut extract tincture. Check it out. Quiet Charm, another YouTube channel. What foods to boost energy and what herbs food to help you with attention deficit disorder? Well, foods for energy are living foods, plant food, non-processed food, non-overcooked foods. I eat cooked foods, but try and move towards more plant-based foods, smoothies. I'm big into the NutriBullet at the moment. So there isn't one food for boosting energy, because there can be things that are draining your energy. People drain our energy. We can be drained ourselves emotionally. So while you can increase your intake of healthy foods and nourishing foods that will give you energy, you've got to reduce your intake of sugars and processed foods, alcohol, any of that kind of stuff that's going to give you that spike and then drop. So yeah, take a balanced approach. In terms of ADHD, again, it's a difficult one because it's only associated with children. Children with ADHD need attention deficit disorder. They need attention. Attention is not just, a kid being around. They need actually one-to-one attention. They need touch. They need mindfulness presence. Parents need to be mindfully present to these kids. Kids with ADHD develop this in the context of our culture where there's not enough attention or negative attention being paid to kids. So we need to give them positive attention, which is I'm available, I'm here. Touch their hands, touch their heads, give them some Reiki, nervines for the nervous system, get out all those sugars and processed foods, look at their diet. And yeah, I could do a whole video on that, and I probably should. Again, in terms of foods, probiotics, really important for the production of dopamine in the brain. They say, Dr. Mercola says 80% or such of our serotonin and dopamine is produced in our gut. So gut health is really important for nurturing the brain, and for kids as well, whose gut health is often damaged when they have ADHD, and especially if they're on tablets. Stephanie Rossiter just found my channel. It's asking me about she'd like to see a video on fish oils. Yeah, I'll do a video on fish oils and how much DHA and EPA is considered beneficial. So I'll do, but look, most important thing is you're eating healthy fish oils and You can get those omega-3s as well from nuts and seeds, and there are lots of, so, but I'll definitely do a video on that. So, and finally, well, 2 questions from 2 fellow herbalists, Michael Rogan, who's a herbalist down in Ennis, County Clare and Limerick, and he asks me, what is the meaning of life, Tom? Well, Michael, sorry, I don't have the answer to that, but it has to be something to do with love, being loved and loving. At the end of the day, I seen a post recently about Steve Jobs, his last words, you know, he accumulated all this wealth and he valued this accumulation of wealth and the success, and he's done really good things for the world. If you like technology, if you like Apple, as I do, generally a good man, but at the end of the day, he couldn't take that with him, and he was saying the only thing he could take with him were the memories of his friends, his family. So, the meaning of life is love. It has to be. Connection and love. Shane McCarthy, what would be some of the pros and cons of pursuing a career in herbal medicine, alternative healing therapies? Great question, Shay. Pros and cons. Well, the pros are you're hopefully living a balanced life yourself. You know, you can't really practice as a herbalist or an alternative practitioner if you're out of balance. And it's not just about foods or herbs, it's about emotional balance, psychological balance, social balance. So there's really opportunities for people who have the opportunity to practice and learn about herbs and alternative healing. Alternative healing systems have been relegated to the bottom division of healing, and biomedicine is the one that's the top pharma medicine, and that's really not leading to better health. It's costing our state a fortune, and every state in the world, health is the biggest bill we pay, and we do not get value for that. There's a huge amount of money lost and wasted in our health system. So if you're in the alternative health sector, which is growing and growing and growing, you're definitely in the right place for better health for yourself. And it's a social form of medicine for me that you share this knowledge with others. It's not about profiting from people's illness. It's about sharing knowledge to help people live a healthier, happier, more sustainable life. It's about equality, it's about justice, it's about fairness. I must say I respect Ireland, direct democracy in Ireland are the only ones I've noticed have in their health policy a recognition of alternative and complementary medicine, and the need for people to have choice. Disadvantages of being in this career, I think economically you're not going to retire early. You probably have to work hard for your labour, your earnings. It's a vocation, so you do it for passion and for belief, but then you've got to be able to take care of yourself. If you're taking care of others, you've got to be able to take care of yourself. You need support, so you need to be able to go to practice yourself, get treatments to make sure you're okay and you're healthy. Look, I could do a whole video on that, and I think I will, Shay. I've enjoyed this because it's engaging with you. You've asked these questions, I'm answering as best I can. I'm not saying the answers are perfect, but they're from my heart to you. And I hope these answers have helped you, and I will help others. And maybe in a month's time I'll do another one of these. Feel free to comment, tell me your experience of the different questions raised today, and put your new questions in the comments below. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe and be guaranteed weekly content on the value of herbs and food as medicine. I'm Tom O'Brien, Master Herbalist at Empowering Medicine, and hope to see you in a video soon. Take care, bye bye.